Before we start, please note that the following is just for amusement and educational purposes and is the exact transcript of Sean Diddy's federal courtroom testimony. According to Inner City Press, no one anticipated seeing this name in a federal courtroom again, much less as a witness. But on the 9th day of Sean Diddy Combs' dramatic trial, when asked why he consented to testify, Bill Cosby didn't flinch. Instead, he stared directly at the jury and said, "I agree." He shuffled into the witness box, his face gaunt, his voice deliberate and purpose chillingly plain. "Because what he did makes me look like an amateur." The chamber erupted in gasps, and the next statement was among the most startling in the whole case. Cosby exposed information that the prosecution hadn't even provided, accusations that grabbed attention, generated headlines, and even caused the court to pause. What did Cosby disclose, and why? No one in the courtroom could have predicted that the prosecution would present the judge with a sealed document marked "disgraced icon," pointing the finger at Diddy. When the defense team learnt the name, they reportedly burst out laughing until the judge nodded and declared, "Admissible." Witness order level Omega whispers flooded the air. The world had not seen Bill Cosby in public since his release from prison, and the public had thought he would, so the courtroom fell silent. Never again testify in court. His history had been etched in the public consciousness, his legacy charred by scandal, shame, and legal battles. But nobody was aware until now that Cosby had been given an FBI source from Cosby's prison years, stated that he had knowledge and possibly even proof of the subpoena, which was sent months earlier under strict secrecy. Cosby first remained silent about events involving Diddy's inner circle, but after reading the subpoena and learning that the case included other members of the same exclusive circles he once going. Through a transition, according to his defense team, Cosby decided to testify because Diddy's actions made him appear like an amateur, not to seek atonement. Shook the courtroom as Cosby was carried in, looked smaller and more frail than anyone had ever remembered, and instead of smiling or waving, he held a little leather notebook to his chest, as when Cosby raised his hand and took the oath, the prosecution nodded respectfully, while Diddy's lawyers were uncertain about whether to laugh or freak out. The tone of for many, the trial was a complete turnaround. The irony was that a convicted predator was testifying against another suspected predator, but the prosecution was clever, as even Bill Cosby once thought about the face, begun his statement with the words, "I have no illusions about what I've done," indicating that he was eager to speak up about the evil in Diddy's empire. However, how much worse must it be? "I remained silent when I witnessed what he did because I didn't think anyone would believe me. But now they have to go to the trial because the most unexpected witness just dropped the..." The courtroom was crowded with reporters clutching pens with white knuckles, and even the judge appeared clearly shocked. Opening shocker, Cosby's second day on the stand started without cameras as required by the court. "I never thought I'd tell this story," Cosby began, his voice quivering slightly as he adjusted his microphone, but not because he was nervous. "But if I don't, you'll never understand just how deep the rot goes," he said. He mentioned a 2013 gathering that took place at a private estate outside of Los Angeles and was referred to by attendees as an industry retreat. Cosby acknowledged that he was there I was meant to simply shake hands and smile and perform the old man thing in order to gain the support of music executives for his daughter's singing career. But an hour after I arrived, Cosby realized this. Wasn't just there were no phones, cameras, or journalists at the networking event, and I immediately noticed something that disturbed me. Ladies were being brought in around the back, and none of them appeared to want to be there. Cosby paused and remarked, "I recognize that expression," his voice caustic, as seen in the mirror. He said he expected alcohol, possibly from some performers, when he entered one of the soundproof VIP areas. Instead, he observed a queue of ladies, some as young as 18, standing anxiously outside a curtain as security looked around the room. Cosby remembered one of Diddy's aides, a man he mentioned. Cosby was shocked by the statement and left the room as Kay whispered to another man, "Colbs wants red picks only the ones who know how to stay quiet." When Cosby asked Diddy what was going on, he reportedly grinned and said, "You of all people," before seeing Diddy himself a few minutes later, smiling as if nothing was wrong and he ruled the place. The courtroom gasped. "I left without calling the police or telling anyone, and I justified it. But now I realize what I witnessed wasn't just a Diddy, then gave him a vintage watch and a handwritten letter that said, "Real men keep secrets." "Party, it was a pipeline," Cosby said. "I thought I was a monster," Cosby told the jury as he handed the note, which is now Exhibit 43B, over to the prosecution. "But that man made me look like what he did was about power, not sex. And I was playing party tricks." By the third day of testimony, the courtroom was silent, and it felt like a funeral. Even though Cosby was clearly weakened, he insisted on going back, and the court let him sit with a blanket over his knees. His eyes were red, and he kept his hand on his little leather notebook, brought with him from the beginning, saying, "I need to tell you about the tunnels," he recounted a second time in 2014 when he was asked to attend another Miami after-party, on the pretense of a legacy celebration, which was held in a private home that Diddy reportedly used during Art Basel Cosby's time there. He had been hesitant to go, but peer pressure persuaded him that evening, and a staff member promised to give him, during a tour of the actual location. Cosby thought it was a recording vault or wine cellar, but instead he was shown to a sealed lift. After entering 2 security codes, the doors opened, allowing him to enter beneath the mansion. According to Cosby, there were no cameras down there, just lights that flashed in response to motion sensors, and the hallway's cement walls began to smell like bleach and something else I won't mention. He was led to what was referred to as the viewing room, a space with soundproof walls made of thick glass and a single screen set into the concrete. They didn't explain what the tape was. I only watched for 10 seconds when Cosby mentioned that a female who was little more than 20 years old was crying and that someone was coaching her off-screen. Then, someone else entered the room wearing a dodgy chain around his neck. Then I said, "Stop." They stopped, but not before he mentioned that he enjoys seeing the better ones again. Cosby sat back in the witness chair and gripped his, even tightly. I became aware that I was sitting in the middle of what appeared to be a church picnic, and they didn't seem to care because they wanted me to understand that they wanted me to. But Cosby claims that he was so terrified that he left the party without saying anything. 2 days later, a man came up to his hotel lift, gave him an unmarked packet, and stated, "Even ghosts." "Don't talk," Cosby urged, shivering, "because I thought I'd seen evil." Inside the envelope was a picture of him sitting in the viewing room, which he had never shown with anybody until I met him as the S. The courtroom sat in uncomfortable stillness. Bill Cosby moved in the witness chair and spoke steadily as he described an incident that caused the spectators to gasp aloud. "What I saw wasn't just a party," he started. "But once you got inside, the mask slipped off and Cosby described how some parties are thrown. It was something different, something concealed beneath velvet and gold behind music and luxury. Diddy's themes, like as White Rapture and Crimson 10 Pulse Sync, weren't merely fancy names for nighttime events. They were cues to those in the know that you didn't ask." He went on to say that a number of well-known celebrities attended these special events, adding, "They were there but blindfolded. You just played along or you weren't invited back," he said, by holding opulent champagne glasses with smiles on their faces, but not everyone was aware of the contents. Cosby claims that he once heard a concerning statement. If they forget what happened, they won't remember what they signed. He claimed Diddy made the remark in passing to a tiny, after a group of people from the inner circle laughed as though it were a light-hearted joke, Cosby's most disturbing memory of an occurrence. In New York, where he saw someone being carried out of, when Cosby slowly and carefully withdrew a folded blanket, the crowd broke apart. There was no ambulance, no scene, just silence, and people continued dancing. The words, "She's only 17," written in what he claimed to be Diddy's handwriting, were scrawled on a serviette from his coat pocket and left on a side table adjacent to the bar that evening in the courtroom. The courtroom was eerily silent while Bill spoke, but the mood had already changed, and the whispered rumors were now resonating from the witness stand under oath. The judge had ordered silence, reviewing Erica's raw, turbulent, and vengeful rendition of love and hip-hop instead. One Reddit thread dubbed fans demanded a complete special devoted to the incident when Justice for Erica received over 20,000 upvotes. However, Mona wasn't having any of it, so instead of leaning on. When she attempted to change course, producers allegedly told them to reorient the season's plot around a battle between 2 new background characters and unrelated cast turmoil. In only 1 week, ratings For the ATL spinoff No One Cared fell by 38%. Fans weren't watching for side feuds. They were looking for blood, and Erica smelt opportunity. Her upcoming YouTube mini-doc's motto, which was leaked, is, "They made me the villain, now I'm narrating the tale." With a publication date of coming Friday, the subtitle, "Beyond the DNA Behind." The lies behind the franchise, courtroom receipts, voice memos, and never-seen footage from Mendes's second phone. Yes, the second phone. An individual close to Erica says that Mendes left his backup phone, a prepaid trap phone that was used only for, let's say, one thing. Erica apparently cloned the phone in order to communicate with her non-wife. And guess what she discovered? Cash app transfers marked as treatment, but traveling to hotels. This is more than simply a controversy. Yandez's assistant was involved in text conversations regarding image management and draft apologies articles that were never published. Now, Mona is aware that a love and hip-hop power duo is being methodically dismantled, and the producers have gone into blackout mode, were allegedly instructed to avoid talking about Erica or the paternity plot. But this isn't working because Erica recently shared the full hotel footage that will be released next week will have the following teaser. Caption, "You needed proof, so watch him lie on camera." That may be the last nail in the coffin, when the time had finally come. Erica Mena pulled the trigger. The full hotel video revealed, during recording, Mendes crept into her room in the dark. A few minutes later, the video became viral on all social media platforms, and I assure you that it was all that fans had been anticipating and more. This wasn't your normal, grainy half-second clip. It was obvious, unquestionable proof. Mendes entering Erica's hotel room with a secret while peering over his shoulder. Strangely apprehensive appearance. The timestamp immediately following a cast wrap party. The same evening that Erica claimed Mendes was seeing her behind Yandy's back. Fans, there was no doubting it when the film was played back frame by frame, focusing on the door handle, the hallway illumination, and even the shadows. A few hours after Erica's shocking post, "You wanted receipts, here's your Exhibit A, no more lies," went viral on Twitter, Mendy Justice for Erica is trending globally, and Yandy's tale went viral. "I can see how you're going to lie on camera," Yandandi sis. Silent, with no live sermons, declarations, or Instagram posts. Instead, admirers saw something else, and her following began to decline. The toyo industry. The consequences were swift and severe, with brands abandoning Yandy within 48 hours and 3 of its main sponsors removing their advertisements. One high-end skincare brand published to fans soon saw the connection between the ambiguous comments of re-evaluating brand ties in light of recent controversies. Music. Hip-hop and love ratings plummet. Industry insiders say the most recent program saw a 45% decrease in viewers after the Erica's shocking information caused social media buzz to move from reunion drama to public figures' reactions. A number of reality stars voiced their opinions, and some people took sides, with Erica and others attempting to maintain objectivity. But the most widely shared video was Saigon criticizing male DCs on a podcast for being cowards and entangling innocent people in his mess, lawyers on the move. According to a person familiar with the matter, Erica's legal team is getting ready to file a defamation complaint against Yandy for the public outcry developed. Remarks made about drug allegations during the reunion indicated that the courts would eventually become involved. The atmosphere behind the scenes was intense, and several cast members anonymously complained to executives about how the brand is being dragged through the muck. But Erica wasn't giving up. In fact, she strengthened her position by making exclusive phone calls between males and an unidentified woman, Yandandi, where they talk about remaining silent and preventing this from leaking. One call contained a grim warning. If this leaks, it's over. As the leaks continued, producers frantically tried to limit the damage. According to reports, Mona Scott Young called an urgent crisis conference with the network. Executives decided to call off all planned promotional events with Mendes and Yandandi. According to sources, Mona personally contacted Yandy to offer advice. Her to keep quiet and offer a sincere public apology. But instead of doing so, Yandy published a mysterious 10-second video on Instagram's ambiguous comment simply served to fuel rumors, while Erica's YouTube channel revealed that sometimes the truth hurts more when it's closer to home. Fans were hooked to their screens for the whole Miniac premiere because of the detailed footage, raw audio clips, and never-before-heard messages, hours. The main concern right now is whether Love and Hip Hop will make it through this controversy. According to network insiders, VH1 is seriously reevaluating the future of the ATL franchise. If the ratings keep declining, there are rumors of a potential reboot, reshoots, and mass cast changes. It's even worse for VH1. While the controversy continues, advertisers are reluctant to make investments. One source said, "This isn't just reality TV drama anymore. This is VH1 cannot afford to overlook this full-blown public relations disaster with potential legal repercussions. The futures of the three are in jeopardy." Fans commend Erica Mena for her courage and openness, and she has negotiated deals for more documentaries and reality shows, spin-offs, but the emotional toll. According to sources, Yandandi Smith is worn, out yet powerful. With sponsors gone and public support dwindling, She's Mendez Harris is rumored to be thinking about leaving reality TV. There are rumors that he might pursue entrepreneurship or low-key community service. Mendez, caught in the midst, could face legal issues, such as custody conflicts, in addition to public humiliation. His social media silence says volumes. An anonymous whistleblower who claimed to be a former VH1 insider emerged just as everyone believed the Tempest was gone. This source published screenshots implying that the DNA test was intentionally altered to fabricate a plot. The source claims that the whole drama around the paternity test was created to increase viewership and divert attention from actual cast conflicts. If this is accurate, it may indicate that the network purposefully falsified evidence tossing. Mendez and Erica Yandandi get into a staged fight with real-life repercussions, and fans are split. Some support the whistleblowing, while others oppose, it truly believing Erica's version of events. Is this a genuine scandal, or is it just another example of reality TV manipulating ratings? Who is the true bad guy? Please share your comments below and hit the like button if you think that Eric Yandandi Mendez or VH1 itself might be the end of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Don't forget to subscribe since this story is far from over. The next part will only be revealed when you want further in-depth explorations of this spectacular saga. Tell me all right, family. Now it's your turn. This story is getting out of control, and to be honest, it's a crazy journey that no one saw coming. Tell me, who do you think? Do you think that Erica, the truth teller, is revealing a profound betrayal? Or is the network playing a shady game of deception to seize okay? And what about Yandandi? Is she the bad guy or the victim in this situation? How does Mandy's even fit into this tumultuous, now legal love triangle? Battleground. Please share your thoughts, views, and reactions in the comments section below. Don't hold back. Let's have that discussion. Hit the like button immediately if you're here for the most in-depth research, shocking discoveries, and all the genuine tea. Helps a lot more people who share your passion for this drama watch this video.